Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Video Game Book Club, the Boss Rush podcast, monthly spoilercast and review discussion show about games you voted on. I am your host, Patrick, and alongside me is the boss of the Boss Rush Network himself, Corey. How are you doing, Corey?
I'm, Pat. It's nice being on this side of the hosting duties for once.
You need a break every now and then.
Yeah, it's kind of nice,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just kind of get to sit back and relax, and I don't know. Still going to talk a lot, probably, because I have a lot to say.
But you know what? Speaking of people who have a lot to say about this game, we have brought in one of the OGs of the Boss Rush Network. Everyone absolutely loves her, and we're happy to have her back. Celeste, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. I was telling everybody that I'm kind of like a stray cat. They just keep giving me food and I just keep showing up. They still love me somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And I still love them.
Celeste, I have a question for you.
I might have an answer.
Where's Talk the Walk?
It's in our hearts. Well, actually, it's here. It's apparently now it's called Book Club now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Talk the Walk has evolved, Just like walking has evolved into running, we have evolved into a book club.
I will say that the Norco Talk the Walk, the developer has featured it on his Patreon.
Ooh. Geography
of Robots, yes.
Yeah.
Geography of Robots.
I knew it had the word robot and geography in the title.
He made a point to showcase any kind of fan created content.
Nice.
Patreon,
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, your legacy will always live on here.
Yeah. It's in here.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of legacy, we have a brand new person to the Boss Rush Network. We're excited to have her on as a guest. I met her through Twitter, and I want to introduce her to every one of you guys as well, because she has got some good opinions. She's an awesome gamer, and if you need anything knowledge-wise or like lore on Genshin Impact, you come to Taylor.
Yes,
Taylor,
hello,
welcome
everyone.
to the podcast.
I'm excited to be here. It's actually my first time ever on a podcast, so I was a little nervous. But I'm honored, so thank you for inviting me.
How many dollars do I have to spend to get a 5-star anime lady that can fight everyone?
I guess it depends how lucky you are. I'd probably say $100 to $150.
Oh,
dang.
If you don't want to wait, if you're impatient.
So if you didn't have to spend the $100, $150, how many hours grinding would you have to grind to get to that?
It'd probably take you a few months, probably like 3 months of saving up if you're free to play. 3 or 4 months.
Well, it's put in the effort, you get the reward.
Mm-hmm.
So it's strange. I've been perusing their Discord that we have, and we quietly have like a very prominent Genshin and Hoyoverse community growing in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a small Warframe community growing in there. I'm kind of scared as a Destiny fan.
You got some competition, and they're gonna overthrow you here pretty soon.
Yikes!
Yep,
it's cool.
Genshin's got a new expansion coming out here very soon, right? Where they're introducing a whole new continent.
Yes, it's at the end of August, right? End of August. So it's a whole new nation, which is always super exciting because it's all new lore, exploration, characters. So very excited for it. I'll probably stay up till like 3 a.m. playing it.
Awesome. No, that's cool to see, just a game that can continue to keep growing its community, keep growing its lore, That's exactly what these live service games should be.
Yeah. Speaking of lore, Destiny has some very exciting lore going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy lore stuff right now.
I bet.
Yeah. I know nobody's going to understand, so I'm not going to try to explain it, but it's very exciting.
Corey, we're happy for you.
I was going to say, I'm excited for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for myself. It's very exciting.
Uh, well, we're not here to talk about Genshin or Destiny, unfortunately. We have another game in mind for our book club, and it's kind of a convenient game for book club because the game kind of acts as a book of all in itself. We are going to be talking about Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Originally released in July 22nd, 2004, so just
Ooh.
over 20 years ago, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Can you
my
believe it?
god.
That makes you feel old. That was
Yes.
a GameCube
Yeah.
game.
I know. It's
Mhm.
so
I
old.
I remember owning it. I remember
Mhm.
getting it. I was, let's see, July, so that was the summer before my sophomore year of high school.
Dang.
Wow.
But you said 2004?
Yeah,
2004.
I
I was a,
graduated in 2007.
I was a senior. I was
Oh,
2004. I was a senior in high school. Gross.
I think I was still in middle school.
Oh no.
I'm not going to say where I
I'm
was.
the Matt. I'm the Matt. I'm the Matt Damon meme where he just gets old like within 5 seconds.
uh,
Oh,
all right. But yeah, 2004. And now we just recently got a remake that came out May 23rd, 2024. So you can officially play this game on the GameCube or the Switch, or if you're like our good old friend LeBron, you can also emulate it. We don't
Boo!
recommend.
Ooh.
Buy your
This,
games.
yep, this game was developed by Intelligent Systems, and it has gotten some very, very good positive reviews. In fact, it's really helping my Metacritic score right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, and helping me gonna win that contest this year. So
Mm, mm.
suck it, guys.
Nope. I'm coming for you, Pat. I'm only a couple points behind you.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, how you guys doing tonight? You're excited? You're all here on this wonderful Friday night with this being the one thing that you absolutely wanted to do tonight, right?
Pat, you invite me to talk with you on a podcast, I will be there.
Aw, thank you,
Yes. I was
Celeste.
actually looking forward to this all week. So
Yes.
Oh, thank you,
Yes.
Taylor. That makes me happy. Corey, how about you? Were you excited?
This is my fifth podcast this week, so sure. Yeah.
Yep, I know.
wow.
I feel
Corey
it.
doesn't
I feel
sleep.
it.
Corey does not sleep.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, we had to record Power Block early because Ed works all weekend. So Power Block is like 3 days. We recorded the next episode before the last episode was out. Okay,
Oh my
so
gosh.
and then Tuesday we recorded Boss Rush to accommodate a guest.
mhm.
I did something on Wednesday that I don't remember. Last night was Tower Casuals, and tonight
No,
is Book
Wednesday
Club.
was the boss rush, or the wasn't
After dark.
Wednesday? No, Wednesday was Power Block.
No,
It wasn't.
we recorded it on Monday during the day because I was off and
Oh,
my kids and wife were out, and
well,
I
never
had some
mind
time
then.
during the day, in the middle of the day, so, which is rare.
Yep.
Anyways, Paper Mario, everybody.
Yep. But
Bring it
before
I
we get,
I love Paper Mario.
I'm glad you do. But before we talk about that, we just gotta get some quick housekeeping out of the way. You know, all the legal jargon that Corey makes us say in every podcast.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Legal. Hmm.
whoa, legal.
Or, promotional, legal.
Guess I'll have to put that explicit tag on this episode.
Yep. So, if you want to support the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network at the tier that's right for you, earning such perks as early ad-free access to this and other podcasts, exclusive to Spotlight interview access threads, voting rights on Video Game Book Club, and more. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. But as always, your listenership and viewership isn't always enough for us. If you're watching this video on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and leave us a thumbs up and a comment. If you're listening on podcast services like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a review. Check out our merch at TeePublic with over 50 designs to help rep your favorite shows and more. And as always, you can check out all of our content, reviews, articles, and more on our revamped bossrush.net website.
Oh my gosh, talk about a headache. Oh my gosh. I'm never doing that again.
It looks good, though, Corey.
For now. Until
Yeah.
something else decides to mess up.
It's okay. I'm sure I can find that too later on if you want me to.
No, I don't care if you do or not. I'm not fixing it. It's Lasby's problem now. I'm done. I retired.
All right. Well, Paper Mario, guys. I think to start us off, like always, we're just going to have a quick little 10, 15 minute, just non-spoiler, reviews, thoughts about what we thought about the game. Now, let's go ahead and have Celeste kind of lead you off because you're the very first window on my screen, Celeste. So, what'd you think?
I'm so happy they remade it because I still have my copy on the GameCube from 2004, but I was not very good at it. I got to the end, but my middle sister had to defeat the final boss for me. Back then, I struggled with it. But now, I beat this game about 2 weeks after I bought it, and I bought it the day it came out.
Yeah, you rushed through this. Like
Hey.
I've
Dang.
never seen you gobble up a game like that before, Celeste.
No, I was very surprised. Well, my husband looked up the time because he'd like to play it. He's like, "Oh, it's like only a 30-hour game, 35-hour game." I mean, that's an estimate, right? Depends on if you're like me and you talk to every single NPC and
That's
want
me.
their blood type
Yep.
and their social security number, what.
And then you hit them all with the hammer to see what happens when you do.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yes,
most
yes.
of the time that was accidental, though, because
No,
I was
it was
trying
on
to find
purpose for me.
something
Accidental.
else.
Well, I would play maybe like a chapter a night or half a chapter. I just happened, there was a point in time when I was playing it that I was actually able to just play it. I was able to focus on it, and it brings me a lot of joy. I remember learning the word pontificate because of this game 20 years ago.
I did see
It's a
that
big
word.
word.
It made me think of you.
Thank you. But like, okay, who throws that around casually in a Mario game? So if you're listening and you're not sure if you should introduce your children to video games because you're wondering what kind of academic prowess they will attain, get them ready for the SAT, get them ready for the ACT. The Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is your key to Vocabulary City.
Jeez.
Once you do that, you can also introduce them to Dragon Quest. That way they get some good old English going on.
Yes.
And some Cockney.
Yes.
Jeez.
But to answer your question, yeah, Pat, this game's delightful for me. I really enjoyed it, and there are parts that do feel long, not as long as maybe Phantom Hourglass sections, if you remember that game, if you played that game. But
You remember that?
I enjoy it. This one, the original one for N64, and Color Splash on the Wii U are my 3 favorite Paper Marios.
Interesting. I don't hear people say Color Splash that often.
Mhm.
You obviously haven't hung out with Ed for a while.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
They
He
need
brings
to
that. Go ahead.
What? Oh no, you.
Oh, I was gonna say Ed talks about how he wants it on Switch all the time.
That's the thing. That's probably why you don't hear people talk about it, because not everybody bought a Wii U, and it's still one of the few Wii U games that has not made its way to the Switch.
I have my Wii U hooked up over here. Still works.
It's amazing. I still have mine. But yes, thank you,
Twilight
Pat.
Princess still in there.
Thank you
Not
for
gonna
letting
lie.
me come talk about this.
No, thank you for coming. Not gonna lie though, Paper Mario almost scared me off completely with Sticker Star.
Mm.
A lot of people said that.
Mhm.
That one was horrible. I'm sorry, and I thought Color Splash was kind of in the same vein, but that's the only one I've actually never played, so can't say.
It'll make you laugh out loud. If you ever do a book club about Color Splash, I'll talk about it with you.
We'll bring it back, Celeste.
Well, I know a few people who would join you on that.
Be the Talk the Walk edition.
Oh no.
So Corey,
Yeah.
I know you've been wanting to tell everything about your opinions on this game because you have a special relationship
Oh,
going on.
sure, yeah.
Sounds
So
scandalous.
I I thought this was book club, not After Dark.
It's always After Dark with Celeste.
I
Come on.
know. So I really wanted to love this game, right? I didn't play the GameCube version. I wanted to love this game. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm kind of somewhere in the like a 7.5 range. I think I love actually playing the game, but those moments feel so few and far between, especially like in the beginning and every time you get a new move or every time you find a star and they teach you how to do something else or every time you get a new companion and they sit there and talk to you for 20 minutes, it's like Kojima cutscenes like drawn out and you have to read them all instead of watching them, right? It hurts. But I think the game is incredibly charming. it's a it's a beautiful game. I love what Intelligent Systems did with, all the replacing all of the art assets, just the little things that they did to improve certain things, like the way the paper rolls away when you know you're blowing on it and it just kind of folds up and blows away, or you know when Mario folds up into a paper airplane and then he gets stuck. Just that little animation of him getting stuck and unfolding is just so nobody else does things like that like Nintendo does, right? And those are my favorite moments of the game. Uh I I think some of this story stuff is like, whatever. It's weird and very 2004, I'll say. It is a game of its era. Uh but also it is an incredibly charming RPG. If you have never, I would say if you've never played a JRPG before or you're not very familiar with them, this is a good kind of first foray into JRPGs. It's very simple, uh, very rock paper scissors esque, and I think it's incredibly charming. I love the side characters. I love most of your companions. Um, some of them are kind of whiny, but you know, I think I think Bowser's whole journey through this game is kind of stupid and hilarious. Uh, it kind of reminds me of like the Mario and Luigi version of Bowser a little bit.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like this game. I really wanted to love it because there's a lot to like about this game. It's just, I mean, there's the joke, and we'll get into it in a little bit, but like the joke of like Luigi telling the long story and everybody falls asleep. It's like this was literally me every time I had to stop and listen, like read 45 minutes of a conversation. um, I mean, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but like I just feel like actually playing the game, there there was too many moments where you stopped to do like to read or to learn instead of actually just playing the game. And I don't mind a tutorial, but also I had to remind myself that this was an era of Nintendo really holding everybody's hand in tutorials, right? This was, a year before Twilight Princess. This was a year before, where Nintendo was literally holding your hand in every single game that they put out. And I just tried to play with that mindset. That Nintendo was very tutorial heavy and very wanted to make sure everybody knew how to play their games, and instead of just figuring it out, which is very different from the roster of Switch games that are out now. So
Awesome. Yeah. And Taylor, what were your opinion? What's your opinion on this game?
I probably fall probably a similar boat as Celeste. So this game's very nostalgic to me. Like I said, I do have the original on the GameCube still. It did come out when I was younger. You said 2004, so I think it was like 13. But it was easily one of my favorite RPGs growing up. Like I replayed the game like 4 or 5 times. I loved replaying it and beating it. I thought it was super fun. Um, and like a lot of times when I go back and replay games that I played when I was younger, I realize I'm kind of like blinded by nostalgia because I'll like replay it and be like, oh, it's not as good as I remember. Um, So I was happy they came out with a remaster because it gave me like an excuse to play it again now that I'm older. And I personally still love it. I would still like, for me, it's like a 9 out of 10. Like, I love this game so much. I have not played Sticker Star or Color Splash just because I heard bad things about them, but I did play the OG Paper Mario. I played this one, and I played Origami King. And I just love the Paper Mario games. Like, to me, they're super charming. I like Nintendo games that are very creative, like, Kirby's Epic Yarn or Woolly World. Like, anytime they do any type of game that's like thinking outside the box, um, I love those games a lot. And so, yeah, to me, like, Paper Mario is just very charming. I like the paper world. I like the characters. The sense of humor is very funny for me. I laugh a lot at the sense of humor. Yeah, like, so for me, just I had a great time. I like the game.
Yeah, I would my sentiments also go with Celeste and Taylor. I have nostalgia, glasses on when I played this game. It was always though a fight for me whether I liked this one more or if I liked the OG Paper Mario. And even after finishing this one again, it's still hard for me to tell which
Mhm.
one in my opinion was the better one. But if they remade just the original Super Paper Mario, like maybe I'd get a better chance to gauge which one was better. But honestly, this was a beautiful remake. I love just how well done the art is. Like the world, I don't remember the GameCube version where the world felt very paperish. Where this game definitely feels like everything was made of paper.
Yeah,
You,
it feels like a bunch of like cardboard boxes like stacked up on each other with like construction paper kind of like glued to it a little
Yeah.
bit.
mm-hmm, yeah. The characters are definitely very, very charming in this game. I think this one had the best side characters out of any of the series. There are definitely ones that I really enjoyed playing with in the battle system. The battle system is something we haven't talked too much about. But I do like how this battle system allows you to play kind of at your own level. It makes it easy enough for you to be able to like do the powerful attacks, to be able to block most of the moves. But then for those who want that extra challenge, it allows you to maybe counter the moves, which requires more of a precision button press. Or for those who want to customize their character, like when you level up, you get to choose between more life, more flower power, which gives is your magic MP, or badges. And this time around, like normally I used to always like put my money on power, like or my HP. But this time I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try and do a badge build. So I had low HP, but I had like over 60 badge points by the end of the game.
Jeez.
So
Mario just has badges stuck all over his overalls.
that's pretty much how he looked. That and my companion characters all had badges. I'm not quite sure where they put them all, but
Pieces of flair, like an
yeah.
office space.
So like it was interesting because my characters would pretty much die if they got hit like 3 times, and like especially towards the end. And the final boss made it really hard because there's a part where you can't even damage the boss. Like my goal was to decimate the bad guys fast. Otherwise, if I had to draw out the battle, I was starting to feel a little bit of the hurt in my playthrough. But yeah, that's something that you can do in this game is you can create a build that is super powerful or super defensive or loaded with a
Mhm.
whole bunch of moves or just more tankier than you need it to be. It's however you want to play, and I really appreciate that in this game.
Mhm.
Nice.
So any other thoughts here before we jump into spoiler territory?
Not about Paper Mario in particular, but just Nintendo's remaster ability in general. They've been, their remakes and remasters over the course of the Switch's life cycle have all been pretty, I don't have any complaints about really any of them. It's like my one complaint was that like Luigi's Mansion 2 HD doesn't look quite as good as Luigi's Mansion 3. I mean, like, but I mean, you look at this, you look at Metroid Prime, you look at what they did with Mario Sunshine and Galaxy on the 3D All Stars collection. Like, Nintendo, when they have a classic game that they want to bring forward, they really know how to bring it forward. And I'm glad that, despite some things I think they could have done for some quality of life changes for Paper Mario, like maybe, I don't know, a fast travel system for one was my probably my biggest complaint, is that like you have to literally walk everywhere you want to go. Like everything else felt it felt very smooth, looks very good, it's very clean, it's very crisp, it's very updated, and you would never know that this was a 20-year-old video game, right? And so
There is a way to fast travel.
What?
Your one of your companions.
What?
I don't know if I should say it now or.
Oh no! Oh no!
I am very curious about this fast travel method.
Hide in shame. No.
Well, maybe our definitions of fast travel are different.
Okay, you know what? I think I know which character you're talking about now. And yes, our method of fast travel is very different.
Maybe he means just like opening a map, clicking and going.
Yeah,
That's the fast travel he's talking about. Not literally moving a bit faster.
Like
gotcha.
Like in Breath of the Wild, when you can just click on a shrine that you've unlocked and you can just go there.
This is Rogueport, not Hyrule. Have you seen what Rogueport looks like?
Well,
what's funny is this game actually did add some quality of life improvements that did improve the fast travel.
Yes.
Not a whole lot. Like before, it was actually just 4 points that you could fast travel. Now you could literally fast travel to each of the major cities in the game on that warp room.
I mean,
all I will say is there is a side quest from the help center where that becomes invaluable.
As well as that one mission in chapter 7, which we'll talk about later. So, this is your warning now. We are going to be going into spoiler territory.
Leave, get out.
Or you can. We don't want you to completely leave, but if you want to listen to us without playing the game, you're more than welcome to. But we do highly encourage you play the game and come back to us. But until then, as Corey said, get out. All
We're
right.
great people, I promise.
It's a little harsh.
We say it with love. All right, guys. Spoiler time. Chapter 1, or actually the game starts off with a prologue where we kind of see Princess Peach wandering around the town of Roguesport. Actually, first kind of learn about the fate of a town where Roguesport is now on top of. How it kind of does a city of Atlantis and gets like drowned in the sea overnight. And then a new town builds up, and we see Princess Peach wandering through the town square with the gallows right behind her, which sets off a great like where are we in the Mario universe that all of a sudden we have gallows and graffiti and literally paper littering the streets. I gotta say it was kind of on the dark side to start off, but she stumbles on a merchant who we find out later with the twist who this merchant is, but the merchant sells her a treasure map and says, "Hey, there's a special treasure here in the city. This map will help guide you there." And the princess is like, "Cool, I'm just going to send this to Mario." And that's how the game begins. With
treasure
that and the
hunt.
Treasure hunt and a letter from Princess Peach saying, "Please join me." But not for cake this time, for treasure.
Not for cake. No cake.
No cake this time, Mario. Yep.
Dang.
So, Mario comes to Roguesport, where he gets immediately accosted by one of the game's villains, Lord Crumps, and his millions of followers. And we kind of get to run into our very first companion character, Goombella, as well during this time. And this is actually pretty interesting because I don't recall any of the other Paper Marios giving you a companion character right off the bat. Like usually Mario kind of does his own thing before they give off a companion character. But we start off with Goombella, and she has a really cool ability, the tattle ability. And
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys, but I had to tattle every single bad guy I ran into.
Yeah. It
It was
was the
very
same
useful.
in Mario RPG. It did the same thing where you get info on every enemy.
Yep. It's like this is gonna hurt me, and I have to keep her as a character, in
Mhm.
my party for like over extended time when maybe there could be a better character, but I need that tattle information.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah. Anyways, you guys managed to escape Lord Crump, and you run into who is one of my favorite characters, Professor Frankly, the Goomba.
I love him.
What do you guys think of Professor Frankly? I
He's
love him.
awesome. He's my best friend. I hope they can make amiibo.
He's
They
just
really
funny.
should.
He's just you're like a typical nutty professor.
Yeah.
Really
Mhm.
just
I just
kind
like
of
his
aloof.
design a lot. He has a
Yeah.
funny design.
He
I like
looks
how when
like
he's like trying to reach things, but he doesn't have hands.
How did they use the bathroom?
Just jump. In
Don't ask
Asia,
questions you don't want the
there's
answer
something
to.
called
Yeah.
a squatty potty.
Yeah, but never mind.
Oh no, I don't want to know.
Mario Universe secrets.
They don't use the bathroom in the Paper Mario universe.
Yep. You know what? They don't have holes.
Oh no.
So.
Help. I need an adult.
But he
Yes.
does have really cool glasses. Little
Yes,
those animated
yes.
spiral glasses.
He looks
And he's
like
full of knowledge.
He reminds me of
Um,
Egad
Egad.
from
Yes,
Luigi's
thank you.
Mansion. Yeah.
Mhm.
Taylor and I were thinking the same thing.
Dang, I'm glad I could introduce you both. You're like long lost sisters.
We're gonna get
When's our Luigi's Mansion book club?
Which
Well, the
Luigi's
patrons have
Mansion?
got to vote on it first.
I know.
Halloween's around the corner. All the stuff's out at the stores.
Well, currently, right now, our first Halloween game is Dead Space Remake. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Oh.
the September book club game. So
Yep. And I'm thinking, for the October one, when we put out the list, I'll have at least one Nintendo game on there. Thinking the new Amiibo, the Smiling Man.
Oh, not Eternal Darkness.
No.
No, not many people have access to that one.
Mm.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
Just go on eBay and buy it for like triple digit price
Mhm.
point. It'll be fine.
Well, anyways,
Everyone owns a GameCube.
Do we all own GameCubes?
No, I do.
Yeah.
But
I have a Wii.
I have a purple one with a handle.
Mine is
Yeah.
still at my parents' house.
I have the purple one too.
Apparently, that's
Purple.
the hardest one to find.
Oh,
Which is
well,
weird.
that's the one I have.
What, the purple one?
Mhm,
Yeah.
it's at my parents' house.
That's like the OG, isn't it?
That was
Yeah.
the OG.
Yeah, but everyone printed
Huh.
after that was like the silver and the black one.
Didn't
And
they
the
have an
orange
orange one? I feel like orange is very rare.
They did have an
Mhm.
orange one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Orange.
Yep. Well, unfortunately, orange was not the first star color that you run into this. I'm trying to figure out how to move this along.
Great transition, Pat.
I am trying hard here. But we get told to go check out the title thousand-year door that's sleeping underneath the city. Take the map there, and we'll be able to start finding these fabled 7 crystal stars that is going to open up this said door and lead us to a treasure or something. There's so many different explanations of what this could possibly be. What did you guys think when you first heard, what was behind the door? Did you immediately think that it's a treasure? Because then they said, oh, it could be a beast. It could be, something completely different. Like, what did you think was behind the door initially?
Something that Bowser wanted. And I don't know, that we had to get it first. I didn't think that hard about it. I'm just going to assume that. I just assumed it was what they told me.
Treasure. Okay.
I mean, the first time I played this game was 20 years ago, so I don't remember what I thought then. But now, what is that meme? F it, we ball. We're just gonna deal with it. I don't know.
YOLO.
It's like, hey, this is the only way to figure out where Princess Peach is to start going after these stars. Because we forgot to mention she's missing again. We don't
Yeah.
know where yet. We don't know
No, that's
anything.
right.
Just that she's
Skipped
missing.
over the kidnap part.
Yep.
Held captive by a stalker computer.
We don't know that yet.
Oh, right. Sorry. Spoilers.
Yep. But that gets us to Chapter 1, Castle and Dragon, where we go to the typical beginning area that is a nice lush green field full of flowers and Goombas and Koopas and, just all the staple Mario characters that, come about with these very first levels.
They're all holding hands.
That's
Not
right, with
really.
rainbows
Not
and
really. Just
they're all
the way you
holding
were-
Dancing in
hands, four paws.
circles. Like,
just the way
Around
you were
the-
describing
around
it,
the bub.
Pat. You're just making me laugh so much. Like, it just sounds so peaceful and amazing.
Then there's a dragon that goes up and starts eating them,
Oh no.
literally. And so that's like, okay.
Yes, that fight, I forgot that some well, I'll let you get to that, Pat. I don't want to
All right.
jump ahead.
Well, we know that we're told that this star is probably in the castle of the dragon, which, where else would it be? It wouldn't be in the home of the village elder, of course. It'd be in the most protected spot with the most dangerous creature. Because video games logic.
Video games.
Yep. And so you need to find the magical MacGuffins that will open up the castle door. And you take just another stroll up a hill with some cool little castles until you run into the thwomp that is guarding the special keys. And he wants to put up a fight in the best way possible. Quiz battle.
Battle.
I love the quiz shows.
I love
love
them.
it so much.
Love them. Now, this is the quizzes in this game. You better be paying attention.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Even
Unless
to
you-
the number of questions that you're on.
Yes, pay attention. I mean, yes, you can refer to a guide, I guess, but
Mhm.
I'm not anti-guide because I collect players' guides, or I used to, and I definitely have used guides. But it's just more fun for these quizzes, just
Well,
to
it makes
actually
you feel
pay attention.
smart and accomplished.
I'm like, look, I'm doing something right in my life.
Yes.
Oh.
Makes one of us.
I can get an A on a video game quiz. Yahoo!
That's right.
Take that, geometry teacher.
Oh, jeez. something you want to get off your chest there, Celeste? Something.
No. Maybe
going
we should
back
have we should feed her to Hooktail. That's all I can say.
Oh,
Damn.
Oh.
Damn.
She
She a
should have been in that
turtle too?
audience. Mm.
press X to stomp her out of the audience.
Anyways, you win the quiz battle. You make the thwomp really mad, and so you go to Hooktail's castle. Along the way, you meet another companion, the kind of warrior, almost emo, but not actual emo. Coops.
Emo.
Do you think he listens to My Chemical Romance?
You know he does.
Well, at the
Video
time, okay, he came
alone.
out. Yeah, he came out in 2004, so he was definitely blaring that and Panic!
I
at
would
the
say
Disco.
3 Days Grace and Trapped and
Oh my god,
those bands.
Doing some Breaking Benjamin later.
Yeah.
he looks
Yep.
like Michael Cera if Michael Cera were.
Oh
a
my
turtle.
god! You were so right! Oh my god! I didn't even think about that.
I love Michael Cera. He just reminds me of that character. Like I feel like I'm watching Superbad.
That's all I'm gonna think about now when I see him.
Wow. You know what? I actually didn't think about that, but you know what? You are spot on.
You
With
can't
that,
unsee it now.
Mhm. So he's the typical turtle that doesn't have the courage, and he's sad that his dad got eaten by Hooktail, and life's just unfair, and he's got this cute girlfriend that is fawning over him, but he feels like he's not enough for her. Like he's got those early 20s problems, trying to find out who he is.
I don't think I ever had that problem.
You have had those problems, Corey. Trying to figure out who you are.
Goombella says he has issues, so
Yep.
Yeah.
So you go to Hooktail because Coop also wants to like get revenge and kill the dragon that ate his father. And you go through the castle and you find a lot of Koopa's Koopa skeletons, a lot of dry bones.
Ooh.
One of them having the same kind of blue shoes as Coop's father, along with a note that he was sorry that he went into the castle to journey for this treasure and that he wishes he could see his son again, who's not Coop.
this is an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So you after Coop like almost has an emotional breakdown on a skeleton that's not his father, you continue through the castle
Jeez.
and eventually you get to Hooktail.
I think we need to say that who the skeleton is the father of, though.
Who is the skeleton's father?
Well, that he is the father of Colorado from the first Paper Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. If you
Oh.
read, he talks about his son Colorado or Dry Outpost or something like that.
Mhm.
It's clued in.
Yeah. I think he specifically just says Colorado
Yeah.
Yep.
in it, right?
He's the archaeologist in the original Paper Mario. There are a lot
That's
of
right,
references
okay.
to that game in this game.
See, this is why we have you on, Celeste, so you can
I
catch
can't-
these points.
I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I remember this.
You remember the important things, Celeste. That's what matters.
Yes.
So we get to Hooktail. Hooktail immediately wants to like kill us because we're invading her territory, and we're also told that Hooktail has a very weird weakness. I don't know if you guys took advantage of that.
Oh yeah.
Corey, did you read enough to take advantage of the weakness?
It had something to do with a frog, but I did not use the weakness.
Oh man, it makes your life a lot easier.
Yep.
I just
It,
went outside and fought some Goombas and leveled up my health and stuff. And
What would you just say like so anyway I started blasting basically is what Corey
Yeah.
did. He just
Wow.
He's like, I'm just gonna keep jumping on him until he dies.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Hooktail has a weird weakness to frogs, and somewhere in the castle you can find a little badge that makes your hits croak, and that makes Hooktail sick to her stomach. So that it's the easy mode to the fight, and then we finally beat her down, but she then starts begging for her life, and we were told specifically that this would be a tactic that Hooktail would use. Did you guys give in to her begging?
No.
No? You weren't going to spare her life?
No, is this before or after she
This is before. Because after she's like, screw this, and she goes and she does your favorite part.
no, this part traumatized me a little bit, even at 35 years old.
Are we talking about the feet part? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh no, not the. Whoa, how many traumatic parts are there to this boss
There's
fight?
actually there's she does try to convince you that if you let her go, she'll let you smell her feet.
Okay, I thought
Oh,
that's
no.
what we were talking about.
That's one of
smelling
the
feet
traumatic
part.
things.
I did not give in because I was like, "You're bad."
I don't like any of this.
It got very weird. This battle got very weird.
This
It-
podcast is getting very weird.
Especially when you find out what actually defeated Coop's father.
Yes! Oh my god! Because that was a change in this version, right?
Maybe? I
Because
don't
I
remember
think
that conversation.
because if it wasn't the OG, I don't remember it. But when that got revealed, I was like, "Whoa!"
It's like I
What
almost
is going
had
on?
her, but then she offered me to smell her feet.
Exactly. I was like, "What is going on in this game?"
Before OnlyFans, there was only dragons.
Oh no.
Oh my god!
But
so
she does something else. Celeste,
she-
what does she do?
she eats some of the audience members, and they don't come back.
Bye-bye.
Like this game has some for a Mario game.
Especially for the first world, right? First
It's like,
area.
I mean, I think I had forgotten that happens in the game. So when I was playing it
Mhm.
a month or so ago, I was like, God damn.
She just ate the audience. Okay.
This is real. this is how we're gonna be. Okay.
This is why Miyamoto was like, you know what? I don't know if we should stick with stories anymore. We went too out there. But yep, she eats the audience, and then you beat her, and then you get the first star. And now you find out what happened to Princess Peach. That she was kidnapped by the X-Nauts and their, for some reason, very creepy computer robot named Tech.
That wants Peach to teach him it about love.
And it's cute because she gets all embarrassed, like, I can't teach you about that. That's something, oh my gosh, red face. And then it's like, well, dance with me. I think the dancing part was this one. It's like,
No, the dancing part's the second part.
that's the second part?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, so she's being held by a creepy computer who draws attraction to her for some
Oh,
reason.
he's watching her shower
Oh yeah,
1000%.
he's watching
Oh,
everything.
Why do you think
wow.
the shower and why do you think the bathroom's so clean every time you go to inspect something? Oh, this bathroom's clean. Oh, this is the cleanest bathroom I've ever been in.
Yeah, yes, you can every time you play as Peach, you can let her take a shower and you can inspect the toilet. This is the cleanest toilet.
You know what? As long as someone goes and cleans that toilet for her, like I probably wouldn't mind being captured by the Eknot, just so I wouldn't have to clean my bathroom.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. But yeah, we find that out, and then we switch over to Bowser. Every time a chapter ends, we do a Princess Peach segment, and then we do a Bowser segment. And and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, for me, the Bowser segments, while I understand they had to include them, Bowser really did not feel like a character that needed to be in this game. Like,
Yeah.
just like he almost had absolutely no purpose other than be comic relief and just kind of be there. Like, he was very secondary thought in this whole process.
Yeah. Bowser I feel like they just shoved Bowser in here to like say, hey, guess what? Bowser's here. Remember Bowser?
He was the guy you fought in the last game.
Bowser.
He was like super powerful and like really scary then, but now he's just kind of like, wandering around without a plan other than kidnap Princess Peach, find treasure, beat Mario. That's it.
I want to know
Yeah.
how much his homeowner's insurance is when he just like busts through his
Yeah,
brick
right?
wall in his little the little float. What is I know there's a proper term for it. It's what the vehicle he uses in
I think
Super
it's
Mario
called the clown
World.
car.
Yeah, it
Go
looks
to
like a
clown
clown
car.
car.
Yeah.
So he just busts through it, and it's like, okay, are you filing a claim with insurance for this, or do you just have your little underlings repair
Maybe
the
his
wall?
minions. That's
Bowser
the job.
seems like the type of person that would try to claim insurance fraud by busting through the wall by himself.
Wow. I thought he just put his minions to work. Just make
Well,
them
he does
repair it
that
every
too.
time.
They repair the walls, in other games every time they get busted.
He doesn't actually hire a
Clever.
contractor.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Bowser.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
Although it was touching in not Paper Mario RPG to see how much he cares about his minions then. Like the one that became a shopkeeper, and he's like, you know what? I relieve you of your command so that you can keep on with your family.
Aw.
Yeah, it shows he still has a heart of gold. He just really wants to beat Mario, kidnap the princess,
Mhm.
and steal anything that's treasure.
He does it all for the nookie.
Yep.
Oh God. Pat, you told me this was book club 3 separate times. I still don't believe you.
But I mean, he tries to marry her. He kidnaps her. I mean, come on now.
He tells his kid that that's his mom.
Oh yeah, yeah. He does tell Bowser Jr. that. I forgot.
Bowser Jr.
There are definitely some issues, and then he adds a whole song. Just it's basically her name over and over again. that became a
Yes.
hit and played in
Peaches,
the
peaches,
Oscars.
peaches, peaches, peaches.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
Yes. If Coops is listening to My Chemical Romance, Bowser's listening to Fred Durst.
Jeez.
Limp Bizkit.
Speaking of Fred Durst, how you doing, Corey?
I hate you.
You can. Oh, I know you hate me. It's okay.
Okay, so moving on. So now we're back in Roguesport. Coops has joined us. We go back to the store, find out that the next start is in a place called Bogley Woods. And
Oh
so we
God.
go to
God.
this really weird looking, creepy place that's looks like a negative from a Polaroid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's weird, but it's also pretty, but it's a little bit of a mind, like it messes with your mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm. The floor is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Iridescent. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very pretty.
And then you got some like little rainbow colors going on, and you got like the sky.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. No.
yeah, we're also introduced to some new characters in this. In terms of the bad guys, we are met with the Shadow Sisters, who are Beldam, Marilyn, and Vivian. Three little shadows, each with their own colored hats. One is a hag that is the exact same voice as Professor Egad. Whenever she laughs, she has like,
Oh. That's a great impersonation.
"Thank you." You know how much I value my impersonations.
Oh, he's phenomenal. Phenomenal at impersonations.
Yep. And then you have Marilyn, who is the bigger, quiet sister, who's also like the one that you get scared of every single time she powers up in battle because you know she's gonna hurt really bad.
Like
Yeah.
if they were the hyenas from The Lion King, Marilyn would be Ed, basically. Like that's how I would describe Marilyn. She has a very pretty name, but she's like basically.
He doesn't speak much. And then you have Vivian, who is the youngest of the sisters and the one that gets basically the crap thrown on the most by her oldest sister. The punishment laid on, and you can just see how much she's like abused, and you kind of feel bad for her.
Mhm.
But you still beat them all up anyways, and you meet a new character, a very busty cloud named
Yeah.
Miss Madame Fleury.
Of course, the one time my wife walks in while I'm playing the game, that's
Oh
the part I'm
no!
at.
She's like, "What are you
I'm
playing?
like,
What is this?"
I'm like, I'm safe. I'm playing Mario. I'm not playing, Near or, Stellar Blade or something. I'm playing Paper Mario. And of course, what happens? My wife walks
You're
in.
smashed between two fluffy bosoms of cloudness.
Oh, no.
Well,
Uh,
did your wife say something?
She's like, "What the hell is that?" And I said, "I don't know."
It's a
I don't-
cloud.
I'm like, this was the game voted on for book club. I'm like, Mario's here. She's like,
See?
whatever. She just rolled her eyes and walked away.
Yep. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I hardly use Madame Fleury at all.
I didn't
Like,
use her at all.
her skills, like, she did have a useful skills of blowing all the bad guys off the screen. Okay, that's adorable.
She's
Whoa!
great.
Didn't
She's
even
great
think about that.
for the
Why'd you?
for the pit of
No, when I
100
started
trials.
saying that, I'm like, you know what? After our conversation, this was not good.
No, she's helpful in the pit of 100 trials when you're going through the weakest enemies. She just bloop, just throws them off screen.
Yep.
But
Yes, she does.
otherwise,
Yeah. No, her attack is still like, I'm not a big fan of the ones that have the physical contact because most of the time you're running into someone with a spike and she's still,
mhm.
despite being a cloud and not having a physical form, she still gets hurt. So, Anyways, you get her on your team. You meet the little Poonies, and you help save their tree from the evil Lord Crump.
Yes. In his paper Optimus Prime.
Yep, the Magnus von Grapple version 1.
Poonie Elder is my favorite.
Yeah, Poonie Elder is kind of scary.
When Poonie Elder gets real big, I thought Poonie Elder was gonna like smash the enemies, and then he just kind of falls over and like gets old. Like old.
It's like, oh, my back.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets really mad and she expands like to 100 times her size.
Yeah, I was like really excited about what was going on, and then it was like, oh well, rip.
Then she hurts herself, like all of
Yeah.
us in old age do. Just by
That's
moving.
relatable now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we beat that. What'd you guys think about this level mechanic? How you had to collect the 100 Poonies and you sent them to war with the, I forget what the mosquito people were called.
It was awful.
Yeah, I was about to say, blowing the Poonies around was really annoying.
It was.
It's funny.
I almost quit, and I like when I was trying to blow them across, and like where they turn into the bubbles, and you have to like go throw them across the way or whatever. I almost texted the group chat. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this book club. This is awful. This is
There's
the
always
worst
that
mechanic.
one.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that one. And I was about to say, y'all can figure it out yourselves. I'm so tired of this.
It's like, you know what? We'll just grab a stone or some bark from the wall, and we'll use that to weigh down whatever Poonie thing that you had to step on.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't the funnest
I hope their
thing.
tree dies. I hope it withers and
Wow.
crumbles.
Well, unfortunately, you saved the tree, so that wasn't going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
But we do get that wonderful scene with Princess Peach and Tech again, and where Tech's like, "I want you to dance for me," and Princess is like,
yourself.
"What the hell?"
with a hologram of yourself.
It's like, okay, so she dances with a hologram of herself. Not weird at all.
This should have been a huge warning for the internet 20 years from then, because this was still pretty early internet. I mean, I'm pretty sure there were people were still tossing AOL discs like frisbees in dorm rooms, right? So, yeah, this should have been.
If they weren't doing that, they were designing those little like hanging like spinning things with the discs.
Yeah, like
Make the rainbows.
The mobiles.
Yep.
Yeah, like or the instead of a beaded curtain, like disc curtains. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we also get a Bowser level that is reminiscent of the very old school Mario 1. Which, fun. It's cool eating the meat and literally becoming Super Bowser and just walking through the screen and breaking everything.
We learn he's an idiot.
That too.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I mean, we were confirmed that he was an idiot.
Oh my god, Princess Peach, you're here in Petalburg.
Please say something to me. And then the guy tries to defend his poster.
Yeah,
that's creepy. That Koopa is creepy.
First of all, why do you have a poster of Princess Peach and like it's your prized possession? Second of all, if it's your prized possession, why are you hanging it outside on your window? Why is it not like
to show it
inside, framed?
Maybe it greets him when he comes home. He sees the poster there.
Oh no! What other kind of things does he have? I mean, we see. Oh god,
we saw his memorabilia. There's some questionable things in that collection.
I don't like any of this.
So you move on to the third star, which is in the glitter or the glam pit.
I like
Glitzville.
The Glitz pit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, can Pat, you didn't. Well, maybe you're about to mention it now about the soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
You get the badge for the old school soundtrack.
But they changed some of the songs throughout this in the remake.
Did they now?
Yeah, Glitzville's is different in the remake.
Okay.
And then if you get the nostalgia tunes badge. It looks like a GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
You can turn it on and off, and wherever you are, it will revert back to the original GameCube song.
I did not know that, actually.
Yes. Yep. Listen to Rogueport, for instance. I'm curious if you guys prefer some older songs or newer versions.
I know, I kind of want to go around and like switch it on and off or back and forth in all the areas to listen
I
to
want to
them.
do that too now. I didn't realize they were that different.
I definitely did it at first, like switched it back and forth, just because like that's kind of a really cool thing in remakes and remasters. Like I think kind of started with the kind of like the Halo remake on 360 where you could press select and it would switch between the two versions, right? This kind of reminds me of that, and I love that kind of stuff of like, oh, here's the original stuff if you want to try that. I love that. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you make it to the glitz. Well, after a very interesting Godfathery level with in Roguesport, you finally make your way to the glitz pit, and you able to get the star. You have to battle your way to the top to fight the champion, the Rock Hawk.
I almost
I
quit
like
during
that name.
chapter 3 too.
Rock Hawk.
Chapter 3 is one of my favorite chapters.
I was about to say,
Mhm.
I love Glitz Pit at the Glitz Stadium. I don't know. It's like it
It's
gets
It's
you
a
hyped
very
up.
very unique chapter.
it's
For
not
sure.
it's not the area that's the problem. It's the, oh, you have to do 20 battles and you're like, oh, well, maybe I only have to do like 4 or 5, and then Bowser busts in and you have to save everybody, and then they just give you the trophy because you're the best. And nope, you gotta fight every single battle.
But Bowser still busts in, and you
Yeah.
save everyone, but you don't get the trophy then.
I do want to say there are some cool bosses or cool fights in this section, though.
Mm-hmm. Any in particular that you liked?
Uh, no, I just think there's some like really cool enemy designs, and there's definitely some interesting like mechanics. There's nothing that's really like my favorite. I just think some of the fights are cool, but like to do 20 of them really like, eh.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of the 20, you're also kind of learning about the mysteries of the Glitz Pit and all the little ghost stories and the disappearances and trying to solve who might be, you know, someone who's getting rid of the competition and who done it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that actually that was pretty interesting. Did you guys guess who the culprit was? Like, did you think it was either Jolene, or did you know it was going to be Bubba Grubba?
I did not remember from the OG, so no.
No.
I didn't
Yeah,
remember it was him.
I remember Jolene. I remember Rock Hawk. I forgot that there was actually something after Rock Hawk.
Mm-hmm. The manager. Turns out the manager was using the star to steal all the energy from the fighters that were going on in or all the fighters in the competition to make himself stronger. So you had to beat him in his transformed form, his hulking form, his mega hub something grubba hubba
Hubba
grubba,
Bubba.
or is it grubba bubba?
Grubba. Grubba.
Yeah, but it was mega. Anyways, you beat him, you beat down the Rock Hawk, you beat down Bowser, you get yourself a little tiny friend who there was a very cool mechanic in this game where depending on how long your friend was in the egg, changed its color.
Mhm.
What color
So
did
I
y'all
have to
get?
ask,
I was
what
about
color
to ask.
Yoshi did you guys all get?
You
Oh,
first,
I
Pat.
guess. Yeah, I was like, who's
Oh.
starting?
Not only his color, what did you name him?
Mhm.
So I got the blue one. And so when I saw
Okay.
the blue color, I'm thinking, you know what? He reminds me of Boshi. So I called him Boshi
Oh my
Jr.
god! Boshi! He's the one from
Boshi,
Mario
the
RPG, right? With the
yep,
sunglasses?
and he
I
was a blue one as well.
He's so cool.
Yep.
I love that.
So I had Boshi Jr.
Oh.
Wow.
That was great.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. Taylor, why don't you go next?
I got the black Yoshi, And I
Ooh.
named him Shadow after Shadow the Hedgehog because he has red on his head. So he's
Oh,
black and red. So I named him Shadow.
that's
Nice.
cute.
Corey.
I also got the blue one, and I named him Yoshi because I'm
Oh my
not
goodness.
creative.
Oh my goodness.
Good job, Corey.
Thanks.
That's like a kid who names a bear stuffed animal like bear or something.
Hey, that's my son named his stuffed elephant Mr. Elephant. Okay.
See?
He loves Mr. Elephant very much.
And finally, Celeste.
I got green and I named him Island, like Yoshi's Island.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay. I talked to our friend Steph at the Boss Rush, and she also got green. She was sad that she got green. I'm like, green means that you literally sped through the entire the fights before or after you got the egg. She's like, oh, well, I guess I shouldn't have done that fast then.
I
Like
really
I was
wanted
trying to give her a
pink.
compliment that she was like going through really fast. Like
Mhm.
she just nailed the competition, and she's like, oh, I should have slowed down.
I wanted the
Yeah,
pink one.
I didn't know there was pink because I started looking up the colors afterward, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's a pink one!"
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know there were different colors. I'm going to be honest with you. I just assumed that this was the canon Yoshi was blue in
Nope.
this game.
That I believe the blue's the second form, the second color.
Oh.
So if you didn't get green, then it went to blue, and then I think I don't remember what order the colors. Black, I think, was the second last one, and I think white is the very last, if I
Mhm.
remember correctly.
Hmm.
But there's also like orange, pink, yeah,
Red.
red. So yeah, you can get your own personal Yoshi in this game. And that is who Celeste was thinking of the fast travel mechanic, weren't you?
Correct.
Because he does
Fast
move a
walking.
little faster.
Yeah, he has to hold Mario though. He's a little baby. I was having to
I
run around
know.
with this grown man.
At least he's only made of paper, so he's got to weigh kind of light. No, it's he's definitely one of the more helpful companion characters, especially his gulp ability. Like that ability is just it hits hard. And it can literally eat anything. Fire, spikes, anything.
That's
And
useful.
yeah. Actually, all his abilities are useful. The mini eggs, the stampede. I mean, Yoshi Jr. was a top companion, especially if you leveled him up.
hmm hmm
But anyways, yeah, we're done with the Glitz Pit. I can't remember what the Peach one was this time. You guys remember?
I'm referring to our friends, the internet.
Yep.
Um, so Tech asks Peach to find out information of Grotus's plans. He guides her to the dressing room
The
where
dressing room.
she disguises herself as an X-Naut using a spare uniform. And amusingly, she assumes the same shape as an X-Naut and the same height.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, video game logic.
Magic.
So she tries to find out what Grotus's plans are. He's suspicious, but she fools him, returns to the dressing room. She puts her dress back on. She sends another email to Mario. And then basically, this is where Bowser kind of just like Mario is like 2 steps ahead, and Bowser's just like far behind
Mm-hmm.
for his parts.
And he visits the Poonies.
Yes. And
Which-
all of them except the elder seem to be afraid of him.
Yep. And now we're back. We're back to Mario and finding out the 4 stars in a place called Twilight Town. So he.
This place was cool. Twilight,
Mhm.
like it reminded me of like, I guess, I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas, I guess, but it reminded me of when you go to those places in Kingdom Hearts for the first time a little bit.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep. Kind of a little burden-esque, little like tilty. Yeah. It is a really cool place though.
Mhm.
And so you go to a place called the Creepy Steeple, and you beat the monster who has been turning all the villagers into pigs for his own personal amusement.
I like the title of this chapter, by the way. It's a fun reference to Hemingway.
Mm-hmm.
For pigs,
For
the
who?
bell tolls.
Yep.
Instead of for whom the bell tolls.
I like that.
But there's no whom. They're just pigs. So you run into this ghost with a little party hat, who we don't know his name. We just know that he is turning people into pigs and that he has the star. So you beat him up very easily, and your party gets the star, and they finish off the chapter. Right? That's how this works. Leaving the bad guy on the ground, beat up, until you realize that all of a sudden you're controlling him, and now you're wondering, okay, what just happened? And you find out that this bad guy, this ghost with the party hat, just became you, and now you are his old former shadow, because that is his ability. He can steal people's personalities and shape, and the only way to get it back is to be able to say what his name is. This, I gotta say, this was actually a pretty creative chapter in my
I was gonna
opinion.
say I actually thought that was pretty cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because you technically can spell his name correctly, but with like a capital P instead of the lowercase p. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're wrong.
Yep. He gives you plenty of opportunities to, like, he lets you guess what his name is. Like, even if you had a guide, though, you can't guess his name because he also has stolen a letter out of the little, like, letter number pad that the game
Mhm.
gives you.
That's right.
So now you not only can you not guess his name, everyone hates you because they think you are the ghost that, did this.
Mhm.
Except for Vivian, because she's been left by her sisters again after her sisters blamed her for every one of their problems again. But Mario's the one that listened. He gave her the shoulder to cry on. And we
Aw.
we get some very interesting dialogue from that wasn't in the original.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh.
we find out that Vivian for a long time thought that she was a boy.
Oh, I think this was in the Japanese version, maybe,
Yeah,
huh?
I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna say I guess it was in the Japanese one, but not the OG American one or North American
Yep.
one, which I didn't know about. So I thought this was like all new, and then I did my research, and I was like, oh, I didn't know it was supposed to be, and then they cut it.
Mhm.
Yep. So of course, like the internet went up in arms. It's like, what, the Mario introduced a trans character?
Yeah.
But I don't
I was
know.
like, did you play Mario 2 in 1991? Okay. Birdo, everybody. Come on.
Yep. No. But yeah, Vivian is now joined the party. She has a really cool ability. She can set bad guys on fire, which is always very helpful.
Mwahaha.
And
I love setting people on fire in video games. It makes me so happy.
that's kind of creepy, Corey.
I know, which is crazy because I'm like deathly afraid of fire in real life. If I smell toast burning, I start freaking out.
Oh
Okay.
no!
But
Well, you had a traumatic experience in your
yeah, I
life,
mean,
so
that's fair,
That is
but
true. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, uh, Vivian joins you to find out the secret of the name of the character who is impersonating Mario. You find out the name being Dupless. Because, oh yeah, forgot to mention, Vivian also has a very, very good ability of being able to hide Mario from damaging attacks, particularly very strong attacks.
can I say that um that one was not as effective as I thought it would be? The hiding Mario.
It's good
Because
when you know the attack is coming, because it doesn't prevent you. It prevents that attack, but you immediately come back to another attack.
yes, exactly. So I'm like, oh well.
Hmm. So, but that attack has saved my life a few times, so or that ability. So you find out Dupless, you fight or you say Dupless's name, you go through the fight, you actually beat Dupless this time, and your party's like, man, we should have realized that, things were different when you actually started talking. And, but it's water under the bridge, right? Because Mario's such a nice guy.
Yes.
So star number 4. So we're back to another Princess Peach moment. This one, what does Princess Peach? She's tasked with stealing a disc, and so she has to create a potion that turns her invisible. Guys, I hated this mini game.
Yeah, it was it was a choice. It was something.
Because she has to be naked to be truly invisible. Is that?
No, that wasn't the reason why I hated it. It was that you had to cook the formula for 30 seconds. Exactly
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds. And my phone was charging when I got to this thing. So I didn't have a stop like a way to like a stopwatch because there is actually nothing that really indicates seconds in that
Mm-mm.
room. Like you think
Were you
it's
just
flashing light.
counting in your head and hoping it was
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I just did 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi,
And you
4
got it
Mississippi.
that way?
Yeah,
She can
Wow.
count in perfect seconds.
I passed
Alan.
kindergarten, Pat. Okay, like
I went 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, but I could not get it on 30. Like I finally like looked up like any key indicators, and apparently if you didn't have like a stopwatch on you, you can count the little bleeps 45 times, and that equals 30 seconds.
Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, I was about to say counting 45 is a lot.
Yeah,
I think this is an allusion to baking the cake in the original Paper Mario, where you have to count.
but it's like,
Mm.
why? And not only is it like if you screw it up, you have to make the damn potion all over again.
Well,
Yes.
screwed up. No,
And
I didn't enjoy this at all.
no, I literally did this 10 times before I found out about
wow.
that 40-second or 45-second rule or 45 blinks because I didn't want to uncharge my phone.
That's perseverance. You're like, I'm
That
not
is
going to grab my
perseverance.
phone.
It's like my phone's charging. I don't want to get it, but we'll figure this out. So yeah, 30 seconds and we finally turned invisible, guys. I hated
Yay.
that so much.
Oh man.
But you got
Peach
the
is the
personal
worst.
data disk. You tech it lets you do another email. Then you got Bowser going into Twilight Town to see if there's any stars around there, and he helps them try and find the super bomb before the Koopas and the X-Nauts all decide to face off, and they blow up the bomb right there in the town.
Boom.
Yep.
Sorry, I felt
Again,
like we
they
needed
serve
a
really
sound
no
effect for
purpose.
dramatic effect.
Yeah. So now we get to chapter 5. You find out that the next star is on an island called Keyhole Island. It's supposedly rumored to be with a pirate king's treasure trove that he left on the island, and so you have to get a boat and
Some real Goonies
travel.
stuff going on in this island.
There is some real Goonie stuff going on in this island, not gonna lie. But this is probably my least favorite chapter. I like the setting, but it was very different. I'm not a fan of Flavio.
Oh, I
Like
thought you were going to say bobbery for a second. I was just like,
Those are
what?
fighting words. If you're not
I know.
a fan
I
of
love
bobbery.
bobbery. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. No, not Bobbery. No, I like Bobbery. I did not like the captain though. The posh merchant captain
Hmm.
with the red skull.
Now he's a little funny looking guy.
Yeah, a little weird. looking.
He looks like someone out of. He looks like Captain Hook without the mustache and without the hook, basically.
Hmm. And then you also get a guy that you definitely knew was Lord Crump, but he even says, "Hey, you at home, don't spoil it."
Oh, there's a lot of breaking the fourth wall in this
I
game.
love
It's pretty
that.
funny.
It's
I
like,
love
you
when he
may
does
be smart enough, but these guys, they're idiots. Uh, but the reason I didn't like this chapter was it was a whole lot of back and forth. It was literally go to the other end of the island. All right, now go back to the village. Now go back to the other end of the island. Now go back to the village. Now go back to the. You do this, I think, 6 times before you finally move into the actual pirate grotto.
Yeah,
But you
this is
do.
the backtracking, Pat. You and I harped on this on the Boss Rush podcast for what, at least a month, I feel like, of backtracking through this game. And like, this was definitely one of, if not the biggest culprit of backtracking.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you have to go find Bobbery, but then, Bobbery's like, I need my cola. Please find it. It's back at the beginning of the town. And
Mhm.
you get there and it's like, okay, I'll give you the cola, but you need to find something else at the other end of the island. You get a coconut. You come back, you get the cola. Then you bring the cola to Bobbery. Bobbery's like, oh, okay. I guess I'm not going to die here after all. You bring
Mhm.
Bobbery back to the town, and then you get Fabio, and then you go all the way back to the end and use his red crystal on you know, the thing and finally get into the pirate
Yeah.
grotto. Like, that's a bit too much, if you
Yeah,
ask me.
I can see that. Yeah, lots of back and forth.
Hmm. But when you do that, you finally like the pirate grotto level was actually kind of cool. I thought, like, I liked the ability to turn into the boat, and I thought the boss Cortez was actually pretty cool.
Can I just say, like, this whole kind of area made me want a paper Donkey Kong game.
Oh,
Oh
that would
my
be
god.
cute.
You're
That
giving
would be
Nintendo
cute.
ideas.
I know. They can have my ideas. Just make it for me and I'll play it. I don't care.
All right.
Pay me.
So, yeah.
I want Miyamoto bucks for that.
Yeah, no, they're just gonna slap you with a cease and desist and claim it was their idea.
Yeah.
Speaking of claiming it was their ideas, we get Crump, who is like, "Hey, I'm gonna steal that star now that you have it," and you then become pirate friends, or you become friends with the Pirate King, Cortez, and he gives you a ship, and you beat Crump, and you move on to the next chapter, chapter 6,
Chapter
and
6.
yep, 3 days of excess. Back on the X-Nauts, we find out that the X-Nauts have been keeping Princess Peach for a very bad reason that we also don't find out because the X-Nauts basically, we're seeing it from Tech's point of view, and the X-Nauts barge in and they claim Tech a traitor and they shut him down, which was kind of sad because it's like they just killed him off.
Mm.
And even Princess Peach had feelings about this. So
Mhm.
maybe after time and perseverance and some what you call that, some Stockholm syndrome,
Yeah. I
you
was
can
about to
learn to
say.
love you can learn to love your captor.
I think that's called Stockholm syndrome. Well, okay, technically he didn't capture her. Technically it's not Tech.
But he also did not let her go.
Well, how's she going to breathe on the moon?
Teleporter.
She'll figure it out.
How did Mario breathe on the moon?
He's Mario.
Reason enough.
Yep. All right. And what did Bowser do? Bowser, I think this was where he found out about an underground chamber, and you go through another Bowser level, and then you find out it was actually a secret training room for the Rock Hawk, which Bowser
I hate
completely
those words
flattens.
together.
Rock. Oh
Rock
no.
Hawk.
Okay, well now it sounds weird that you're saying that.
Yep.
You're ruining so much of this game.
Oh no.
Guys are destroying Taylor's innocence here. Come on.
Oh, welcome to Boss Rush, Taylor.
It's true. All right, so 3 days of access. This was a train level, which I think it also like in Paper Mario. Wasn't the sixth chapter also a train level? I thought. I don't know.
Like
I
Chapter 6 is
remember
the
it's been
train
so
level.
long.
Yeah, it's
I
been so long.
remember a train in the original game. That's the only Paper
Yes.
Mario game I've ever
Mhm.
played, and I do remember a train.
I thought because the train was like a murder mystery. I thought like they did an
No,
Orient Express.
the train in the original Paper Mario is the one in the desert. It leads you from the like little canyon like area where you first meet the Wacka, and it leads you to the dry outpost.
Right. Okay.
Um, and then there's also a train in Color Splash that you can ride.
But do you get to become Detective Luigi in that train?
Ouija.
Unfortunately, no, you don't.
Yep.
But there is a murder mystery with penguins in that frozen area in
Oh
the
my gosh,
original
I
Paper
That's the
remember
Mario.
murder
that
mystery.
now. Yes,
Okay.
the murder mystery.
I'm like, I
It's
know there was a murder
hilarious.
mystery somewhere.
It's hilarious because they're so dramatic about it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, the music and everything.
But yes, like Pat, you were saying, what we're about to experience on here is well, I guess there's both games have a little bit of an
Little
Agatha
mystery
Christie
twist.
flair. Yeah.
Hmm. Yep. In this one, you have a penguin that literally gets everything wrong, accuses everyone of crimes that they don't commit, and it's up to you, paper detective Luigi, because that's who he thinks you are, to go and solve the mystery for him. So you do that. You solve the case of a missing soup. You find out someone actually was going to make a weapon of mass destruction using a syrup, a earring, a shell earring, and what was the other thing? There was something
Oh.
else. Honey? Was it honey? No, I forget what
I
it
don't
was.
remember. It was the earring
Oh, the
with
gold ring. The gold ring.
yes. Okay, so
There's.
the wealthy toad has the
Mm-hmm.
ring. The
Yep.
waitress has the earrings from her ex.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the weasel had the honey or the special syrup that would be absolutely like perfect if it wasn't for the reaction it has with shells and gold. So you solve that. You then like also go through a train station, which was kind of a cool level. And like close a drawbridge, and then you finally fight the smog that like
Mm-hmm.
takes the train
Smaug.
captive.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it was a weird mix of like just little bits of story for this chapter until you finally get to a very poshy town. You get into the shrine and you see the Shadow Sisters and Dupless steal the star. And the penguin guy's like, no, that wasn't the real star. The star is still somewhere in the shrine. I keep in storage. So you go and you get the actual star. I mean, what'd you guys think of this chapter? Other than like the kind of mystery parts, like it was a very weird chapter, I thought.
I like meeting the ghost
The
toad.
ghost, that's right. Oh man, that ghost was creepy. He
Yeah.
was like
It's
evil
weird.
too.
Don't read his diary.
Oh
No,
no.
no, you don't want to do that. He will kill you.
Oh yeah,
Literally,
he
you
means
will get a
it.
game over.
Oh dang.
I don't like
I
this.
like how he's like, okay, with this, I can finally go and rest in peace. And he starts like climbing up that, the light path. And then he's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I've been here too long. I actually kind of like it here. The wood's kind of nice, and
There,
I think I'll
very
stick around.
nice. That's a very nice train. It makes me want to. I've been on a train in California to go from San Diego to Anaheim, but I would love to go on a sleeper train like that.
Hmm.
Oh, a fancy train.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I hear Canada has a really good sleeper train that goes cross
Mm,
continental.
I think I looked it up
yes.
once. They have like a Rocky Mountain train, but it's very
Hmm.
expensive.
Yeah,
Like a few $1,000s or something. I was like, oh,
Oh
you're
okay.
paying
jeez.
for the experience, not for the travel.
Oh God, do you have communal toilets, or you have to Do you have your own toilet, your own bathroom, or
Oh my
you
god, I
just
bet you
share?
it's communal. I don't know.
I think it depends on how much you splurge, what kind of room you get.
Look, I have IBS. No one is going to want to share a toilet with me on that train. For a week or
Just tell
something? No.
everyone that, and then they'll be like, oh, okay.
I'm learning.
Like-
I'm learning so much about Celeste today that
It's like fair warning right on the door. All
You're
right.
going to want me to have my own toilet. I promise.
So, moving on to this story. Luckily, there's no IBS on this train. You get to the you get to the next chapter, chapter 7, but you don't get anything from Peach this time. There's no Peach level happening because she got captured in the previous one. And Bowser, they go to Poshley's Sanctuary just right after Mario to try and get that star, and it turns out that they were late, and the star was a fake, and that the curator gave it to Luigi, and that gives Bowser a rant about how he hates both brothers. But we all secretly know that it wasn't Luigi; it was Mario.
Secretly, no.
hmm
and even when Luigi's not part of the game, he's still getting involved.
Oh
Poor
man,
Luigi.
yeah.
Poor guy.
All right. Chapter 7, Mario shoots the moon. We find out that the last star is all the way up on the moon with the X-Nauts. And so you have to go to the snowy plains of Far Outpost to get blasted out of a cannon. However, they don't have all the means to get the cannon to fire. You need a permit from Gold Bob, the rich Bomb Bomb. And you also need General White, the operator of the gun. Luckily, the permit's easy. You just find Gold Bob in the rich Poshy town. But finding the general is a pain in the ass, especially in the original version of this game. This version cuts down the travel time immensely with the warp tubes, but you literally had to go to every single town, find one person that knew who the general was, talk to them so that you can move on to the next town, all doing that, and then you finally go back to Far Outpost saying you couldn't find the general, and he's right there the entire damn time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a sin. But, all's well that ends well. You get put into a giant cannon where a billion Bob-ombs sacrifice themselves to launch you to the moon. And that was kind of comical, I thought, the cannon scene.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then getting
Yeah.
lodged into the moon, like with your legs sticking up.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Potential spoiler for Origami King, but it's interesting how these bombs are okay, but there's a
Oh
certain
yeah, that was
bomb.
a sad scene. My gosh.
It made me cry. I was so sad when that happened.
It's like things don't die in Mario games.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
sad.
it's made you feel bad for every bomb ever.
Mhm.
Aw.
Well,
Rip.
you managed to get into the Exnaut space. You find Lord Cromp one last time. You fight him on his Magnus Von Grapple version 2. Beat him. You get the star. Lord Grotus and the princess are not there though.
What?
That's right. The princess is in another castle. Literally.
Who saw that coming?
Did you know there's an Easter egg in this section?
Yes, there is a really cool Easter egg. One that people could say is a throwback to the good old days. Which, of course, Corey's like, what the hell are you talking about? Because he probably skipped it.
Probably did. What was
You can fall, and when you're in the grates, you can fall into the changing room, and you fall behind a curtain. Then when you open up the curtain, you're the 8-bit form of Mario.
Oh.
They
And the
did
partner.
An RPG also.
Yep.
Oh,
In Booster's
Mhm.
Castle. You could
that's
Yep.
cute. Yes, yeah, and you can switch between the partners to see what each one would look like 8-bit.
Oh,
I
I love
love
that.
I
Did
love
not know
little
that.
8-bit Yoshi.
And your Yoshi stays the color that you had it?
Yep.
Oh,
It's really
Everyone
cute.
like
I want to
Goomba.
Google all the 8-bit Yoshis.
Oh yeah, I mean Google all the 8-bit characters. Like they all were like adorable. Even Goombella. Like they were all cute.
Fluffy, Madam Fluffy was a little weird looking. but
That
she-
was weird because she's got those little smiley parts,
Oh no.
on her.
I'd be
Oh,
curious what she looks like.
pasties. She has pasties.
I
Yeah,
don't want to
smiley
look that up.
pasties to show her form in 8-bit.
No. Oh no.
Uh, anyways, yeah. Final chapter, guys. We made it to chapter 8, the 1,000-year door.
Dun dun dun.
We got
Yep.
the treasure. We did it. We won.
We think
We
we
did it.
won. We
Are you
only opened
winning,
the door.
son? Yes.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yep. We at this point we already understood that it wasn't a treasure hiding behind the door. It's actually the destroyer of the old city who was able to control who had vast amounts of power using the 7 stars. And it didn't matter whether you collected the stars or not. This being was going to get out either way because the door was weakening. It was better for you to collect the stars so that you had a chance to seal it away again. But now you are the one that opened the door because Professor Franklin met you at the entrance of the teleporter from the moon, which goes to the sewer in Roguesport. And you all open the door and you go through this very, very un-Mario looking level. Like it, everything became like gothic and like roses and red and gold, and it's like where in Final Fantasy did I just go to?
And like, what is this for? Like
Uh-huh.
who's living here?
Yeah. It's called the Shadow Palace, and it's unlike anything you've ever seen in a Mario game. And I don't think any form like Mario has ever gone to a castle like this before.
It's cool
Uh
though.
it is.
Mhm.
Like it's gorgeous looking.
Hmm.
And in this, you are going through it's a very long level too. Like
Yeah.
there are a lot of bosses in this level.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I was
it's a
trying.
certified boss gauntlet.
Stayed up. Like I was like, all right, last chapter, couple hours, I'm done. I'm like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, another day. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Where's
Oh,
the end of this level?
oh my God, the riddles. I was like, can we get through this, please? God, I'm so tired of these riddles that come later.
Hmm. Oh yeah, the Shadow Tower where you had the 8 doors and you had to collect the 8 keys, and that you had the one room that was literally connected to the other room and you didn't realize that until you went up to that room, and
It's
it
not intuitive, and unless I'm just dumb, but I was like, I'm looking these up. I have no idea. What is
mhm,
this? What
yeah.
what Sphinx level riddle is this? But it's gorgeous. It's very pretty.
Oh
The
yeah,
tower is very pretty.
That makes it better.
yeah,
It's
in the
very
courtyard with everything just it doesn't look like it was something that got destroyed 1,000 years ago. It's very gorgeous. But we had a lot of bosses. We got to fight Hooktail's older brother, who got really mad that you beat his sister. Um,
Ah,
yep, and he's probably the strongest non-super boss there is in the game. I think he had the highest attack out of every single character, including the final boss. Because like every single one of his attacks would also like cut through your defense too, especially that breath
mm,
attack. Um, but once you beat I think it's Gloomtail.
Gloomtail.
Uh,
Yeah, Gloomtail.
yep. Once you beat that, then you finish off the tower. You meet the Shadow Sisters again and Dupless, and you
God, they're
get to
like the
fight
Three
them.
Stooges.
I was
They're like
about
the
to
Three
say they
Stooges.
keep coming back.
Hmm. Yep. And this one, like you had to defeat you had to what's her name? Beldam. You had to defeat Beldam pretty fast in this one. Otherwise she like really powered up the rest of the team. And also she had her freezing abilities, which
Mm.
I did not like. And then after you beat them, you run into Grotus. And you finally get to fight Grotus and his shield. his regenerating shield. Yeah,
I hate
you
it.
guys
I hate it.
know?
Do you like bosses who regenerate? No.
No,
No one
No.
does.
No.
And
no.
he had a lot of powerful attacks, but luckily, he didn't have as much HP, so you beat him pretty fast if you keep destroying the shield with like all powerful attacks. But then we find out why he has a low amount of HP, because you immediately get tossed into a fight with Bowser and Cammy,
Oh my god. It's
and
like,
Bowser,
oh,
like Bowser just shows up. He lands on Lord Grotus and breaks him. But this was a real
Grotus.
dick move for Bowser. Like usually you get those opportunities where you get healed before another fight, and Bowser's like, you know what? You're weak from a fight. I'm going to take advantage of that. He literally says that, and he goes and he attacks you. So like, what a dick
yeah.
move.
Definitely
Mm.
helpful to use things like Art Attack whenever you
Hmm.
can with the stars.
Yeah, I personally use the defense and power booster a lot in my that was one of my go-to star abilities. But once you beat him, you finally enter the uh, the final room of the Shadow Palace, where the Shadow Queen resides.
Mm.
And this is where you find out the whole story of the plan of the Shadow Queen's revival. That the Shadow Sisters all this time has been manipulating everyone so that they could revive the Shadow Queen. That the map was planted specifically to Princess Peach, that the X-Nauts were told, and sent kind of on a running circle to get this all done, and told false information because Grotus thought by reviving the queen that he controlled the queen, and the queen's like, yeah, that's not happening, and then literally like destroys him in 2 hits.
Rip.
Like she was pretty vicious.
Then Peach is about to go through her goth phase.
Oh yeah.
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 She possesses Peach, and Peach like transforms into a goth Peach with pointy like a pointy dress, and it's all black, and the
Hmm.
whole world gets covered in shadows,
Nintendo
and
was very into evil princesses at this time because
Oh, Zelda.
mhm.
Twilight Princess does this too. Like, oh my god! And then
Every
you had
princess.
Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, which had Dark Samus.
Oh, yeah, Dark Samus.
I'm like, man, dude, okay.
Every princess goes through their emo phase. So
It's true.
but yeah, this is the final fight, and the Shadow Queen immediately ditches Princess Peach's body to go back to her original shadow form because it's more powerful, and it's so powerful that you can't actually hurt her for at least 3 turns. And I hated this because my character was a glass build, so defense was not my strongest suit.
You're like, at this moment, I'm having regrets.
Yeah, I thought about like, okay, do I go back to my save point and do I like, respect some of my badge choices here? Um, but luckily I managed to, get through that phase where all of a sudden the whole world gives you hope. Like a classic like Nintendo game. Like, we believe in you, Mario, and all that energy flows to Mario, and then Mario can finally beat Peach or the Shadow Queen,
Mm.
ending her reign of terror and future destruction, and everyone goes back to being happy again, even the Shadow Sisters. The end.
Yay!
Th-
Happy.
this game, though, has incredible replay value for a game. Like, you actually, most games, the next time you pick it up, it's right before the boss fight.
Hmm.
This game, you continue on. You can even go back and visit where the Queen of Shadow, Goth Peach, where they were. And
Hmm.
Gimbella will tell you, yeah, this is where the coffin where the Shadow Queen was. We don't really need to be here. It's weird. Let's go.
I love that.
Nice. Now, some of us quit at this point, namely me and Corey, and maybe Taylor, but some of us continued on, like Celeste. Tell us about your adventure after, Celeste. What was the pit of 100 trials like?
um, long. I think it took me like 2 hours. And
Oh,
you better
wow.
make sure you have some life shrooms, make sure you're badged up, make sure you have good HP, you have a lot of power FP. Um, you can use these little things, like there will be little punies or poonies who appear throughout, and they'll say, "Hey, if you pay me X amount, I'll let you skip X amount of levels." Like I think you can skip up to 5, but you do want to stop at each after every 10 because you can recover your hearts. There's one where it's not Chet Rippington. It's Charlie, the vendor who sells everything for an exorbitant amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's in one of the floors. You fight Bone Tail, and I defeated Bone Tail with 2 HP. Corey, the girl,
Wow.
Vivian, our girl Vivian. I was like, I was like ready to give up. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to start this all over again.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just
if
like,
you
okay,
die, you have to start back at number 1, right? Or floor
I
1.
think so, or something like that. But I was like, Vivian, just punch him. I'm gonna die anyway. I wasn't keeping track because Bone Tail will regenerate or whatever some HP, like 20 HP after every so often. I'm like, well, I'm dead. I'm dead. I wasn't tracking the health bar. Vivian punches Bone Tail, and the slow motion starts, and my jaw drops. Like, did I just beat?
Wow.
Nice. It's not the
So
best.
it's difficult. Yes, it is the best. And then I also this is another. Well, no, I think Bone Tail's in the original one, but we have 2 surprise bosses, optional
Mm-hmm.
bosses. I did not fight Wacka. Did anyone fight Wacka?
Nope, I just
Mm-mm.
whack on the island once. Whack on the island.
Yeah.
I don't
That
like the I
doesn't
don't like
sound
the
right,
I
Pat.
don't like the way that the term wacka is being used right now.
I whacked on the island. Well, you know what?
I
That's
whacka.
how many times did you whacka on the
He
island?
said
Oh
only one
no.
time.
Just
Just one
once.
time.
Just once. That's all
So
I needed to do.
I think if you whacka 8 times on the island, if you whacka
Damn.
whacka 8 times,
It's quite
Wacka will
the
become the second boss of the Pit of 100 Trials.
Oh.
I didn't feel
Yep.
like dealing with that again. But you go to Glitzville, you can fight Jolene's younger brother, the original champion, Prince Mush. That MFer is difficult. Now, Corey, I know you were complaining about tutorials. I had to go and find Mr. Dojo Master Kung Fu Man and practice Super Guard because that is the only way you will defeat Prince Mush is if you can
Oh
Super Guard.
no.
Jeez.
Dang.
Wow.
I died. I did die once, but because he has an attack that'll take like 50 HP off of you easily.
Oh my god.
Wow.
50 HP. I
Yeah,
don't
because
even
he's
know
Insane.
if
like
I
he
finished
goes
the game with
bam,
that much
bam,
HP.
bam, bam. Like he goes from every direction, and you have a chance to super guard those. You have to watch his stance. If he's bouncing up and down, you only can jump on him. If he's moving side to side, only can hammer him. If he's blocking his face, he's impenetrable. And he charges up, he charges, and you have to make sure you super guard. Because
Jeez.
when you super guard him, he'll get on his hands and knees and he's vulnerable. But yeah, he's a tough MFer. And oh yeah, the star power doesn't work either. You have to super guard him.
Mm.
Wow.
Dang.
Get anything good for beating him?
If you've played Breath of the Wild, you don't get
Golden
poo.
poop.
You don't get golden poop, but you get his champion's belt, which looks like rope.
Oh,
Wow. How amazing.
good on Nintendo, giving you the worst prizes for the hardest challenges.
If
Yeah.
any of you beat him, I would definitely be at least level. If you want to go play against him, I would definitely be at least level 30.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely want to go
Cool.
back and do all the extra stuff because I didn't do any extra stuff after I beat the game yet.
I already took the cartridge out of my Switch and put it back in the box. Not-
Put on the wall for the rest of
He
existence.
said I'm
Yep,
done. Bye.
it's gonna sit back there on my shelf.
One day your
Yikes.
kids will pull it down and be like, "What's this, Daddy?" And you'll be like, You'll have your non-flashbacks.
My son watched me play a little bit of it. He loves Bowser. My son is obsessed with Bowser.
Oh,
He's like,
I love that.
Bowser, he's a big dinosaur, and he goes, rah.
That's so
Okay.
cute.
That's cute.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
He stomps around. Like whenever I'm playing like Mario or something, my son like comes around and he just stomps around he's like, rah, rah, and he brings his hands up. Rah.
That is so cute.
Is he 3 now or
Yep.
4? Okay.
3.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Corey, you're parenting right.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think if I'm playing a game while he's running around, I'm not parenting at all, but it's fine. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this concludes our discussion of Paper Mario.
Did we do it?
Wow,
we
we
did
didn't
the
talk
thing.
about Luigi at all.
We did.
Good.
Oh my god.
And
Okay, you know
Princess
what?
Eclair. It's the best
Dude.
part of the whole
Oh
game.
yeah.
Totally
Forgot
Taylor,
about
thank
Princess
you.
Eclair.
Unfortunately, it's a forgettable experience. I did it just to humor Luigi, and it's cute, but it's dang.
I love it.
I want
It
that
was great.
game.
You know what?
Me
I was
too.
thinking the
I
same
want a
thing.
spin-off game.
I would like
like-
that game because I was hungry the whole time he was talking.
I love how anticlimactic the end of his story was. He's like he builds it all up, and then he's like, and yeah, we beat him, and saved the princess and left. And now here I am. It's like, that's it? Yeah, that's it. Really?
Luigi's the worst.
After all this time, he's like been obsessing over Princess Eclair. It's like, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Why
he's
hasn't Princess Eclair shown up in any other game?
in the Waffle Kingdom.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, we need a Paper Luigi.
Yeah.
Yes.
And was it the
Waffle Kingdom.
multi-point or the something compass? What was it called?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Oh.
I was interested, but I forgot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Luigi's my favorite Mario character. I'm obsessed with Luigi. So for me, that's the highlight of the game. When I
Is it because
get to
he's
see you.
Tall, dark,
No,
and
I just love him. He's so silly. I like his like evil death stare in Mario Kart. He has like really funny Mario Party moves and Smash Brothers moves. He's just funny.
He's goofy. Yeah,
He's goofy, yeah.
Yep. No, Luigi's definitely a class character, and
Oh,
he needs to be recognized more.
did you all get the optional companion?
Yep.
What, Miss Mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Mouse.
Corey
No, I did not.
figures.
Look, I was trying to finish the game before book club, okay?
Oh, she's pretty easy to get. She runs the badge shop, and you take one of her troubles. Did you all complete the troubles in the trouble center? Corey,
All the
no.
way through
Some of them.
chapter 7. I didn't bother going all the way back to the shop from the moon. I'm like, screw it, I'm already in the sewer. We're going to the door.
I did do some of the troubles. I talked to the old man in the house. In the woods.
That sounds really creepy. I talked to the
I
old
know.
man.
Oh, you mean you gave Coop the mayor the ear to as he rambled on about his wife and other things?
Yeah, then he kept forgetting what he was talking about, and he kept changing the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Do not make fun of senility, Corey.
I
We
was
will
about
all
to
be there
say,
one day.
he's old. Give
Yep.
him a break.
But we know how Corey feels. Okay, Corey, when I'm old and senile, I won't talk to you. He won't listen.
Yeah, he will. He just won't realize you're talking to him.
Because he'll also be old and senile. I did all the troubles after I beat the game.
After.
Mhm.
Be fair
Does he
though,
have-
a lot of
yeah.
the rewards for the troubles weren't worth the trouble.
Do not get me started on those the really wealthy bombs. I'm like, oh, you can give me 30 coins? Okay, cheapskate, whatever.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You live in Poshley Heights.
Oh, good times.
Well, guys, I want to thank everyone for listening and watching to the video game, the Boss Rush Video Game Book Club, part of the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network. If you enjoyed our discussions, please subscribe to our YouTube, and please subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast applications. You can support us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Any tier grants you early access to the show, and follow all of us on your social medias platforms at Boss. You know what? Screw it. Just follow us on Boss Rush. You're good.
Yeah. Follow
That's
us.
right. But before we leave, Celeste, thank you very much for joining. Where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter or X at FairyCrypt, FAERIECRYPT. I'm also on Instagram, but my Instagram is private because there are weird people out there. So if you are adding me and you're not
That's
weird,
smart.
send me a message.
Private.
You know, the weird ones will say I'm not weird. Corey, where can people find you?
I'm not weird. You can find me at I am Corey in HD on all social media places, and you can find me on various other podcasts here. Whoop, whoop.
Cool. And Taylor, where can people find you and all your wonderful exploits and your floof?
Yes. Yeah. You can see my Samoyed puppy, Naya. I post a lot of photos of her. But you can find me on Twitter. My handle is cute_idiot. So
Yep. Yeah, we're very curious how you got that name.
I just I was a typical spacey blonde person in all of high school and college, like space cadet. So I just went with it, and I was like, I'm cute, but I'm dumb. Like
Oh,
that
you
was
were
me.
not dumb. You were not dumb.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not nowadays, but in my teens and 20s, I was very spacey, and yeah.
Well, we're really grateful that you came and joined us for
Mhm.
this book club, Taylor.
It was super
Thank you very
fun.
much.
Yeah, I'd love to come back for any other game. So this was super fun. So thanks for having me.
Well,
Thank
next
you.
month is Ocarina of Time.
Is it really?
Yeah, it
It
really
is
is.
Ocarina of Time.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll definitely keep you in mind. But until then, thanks so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Play games. Be better. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh wait, I have to stop this.
Yeah, you're on the recording side.
Free
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.
Yeah, her
Oh.
company
Oh,
is the
you
developer
mean
of the
literally?
software.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
her
not at the
company-
same company, but
Yeah. Not the same company, but her company is the main software that my company uses.
She's a vendor.
Yes.
Vendor partner.
You're the vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
we know your kind.
We call our vendors partners at work.
oh,
We-
see, I like that.
We call our vendors sponsors because that's what they are.
Being honest.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Taylor. I'm so happy to know you, and I'm also on Twitter as well. Or I still
Awesome.
call it Twitter instead of X.
Nobody calls it X.
Yeah, I will call it Twitter forever. That's what it is to me. So
The thing is that I have to call it X for work because
Oh.
I work in social media. So when I'm
Oh,
at work,
God.
I call it X. But like when we're not on a fancy phone call, I'm like, can we just call it Twitter at work? And they're like, yeah, we're not calling it X. That's stupid. I'm like, then why are you calling it X on the phone?
Yep. We'll just call it Twitterverse. Encompasses
awful.
all.
Awful.
All right.
Call it Muskverse. That sounds disgusting.
No,
Muskiverse?
That's even
I'd
worse.
rather not give the guy
Very
credit
musky.
for.
Yeah.
Oh, I just think it sounds dirty like a skunk. Let's get this show on the road. I'd rather talk about Mario than Elon Musk.
Yeah.
All right. So, for those who are new to the Boss Rush Book Club, we'll start off with introductions. I will introduce every one of us, and then we'll kind of have like a little pre-show banter. I'll quickly get some housekeeping out, and then we'll have probably a 15-minute spoiler-free discussion of what we overall thought about the game. And then after that, we will jump into spoilers. It will probably go based on the story beats, but if there are particular moments that happen during the story beat that we want to emphasize on, or special characters that intrigued us during these times, or a mini game that might have pissed us off, especially around chapter 6-ish, I think it
6? It
was.
took you that long?
Huh? For the
Did
mini
you play
game?
chapter 3 at all?
That's not the mini game. There's one mini game that infuriated me, but we'll talk about that later. And then afterwards, we'll just have some like final thoughts, and we'll get out of here. Hopefully, this will be within an hour, 15, hour, 30 minutes.
Nice.
Questions? Concerns?
Concerns? I hope we get this done tonight because I already did all the social media promoting it for tomorrow morning. So,
Well,
Oh.
then let's hope no one's
No
power
pressure.
goes. Well, luckily it's not storming by me.
Oh,
As
I was like,
far
it's
as I know,
storming
it's-
here, but
Oh, crud.
it's
it's okay.
fine.
I've never lost power the entire time I lived
You
here.
know what's
So.
crazy? One of my coworkers in Pennsylvania, it wasn't even a tornado, some other kind of semi, like a
Draco?
baby. What is it?
A Dreco?
Yes, he had a tree fall through his house this week.
Oh
Whoa.
my god!
Yeah.
Whoa!
There
Drecos
was,
aren't like tornadoes, but they're like they're like storms that just spontaneously pop up, and they are very freaking fast, like wind-wise and everything.
Wow.
It's like
It
a mini
happens here.
hurricane, it sounds like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a
I
mini
haven't heard of that.
hurricane.
There was a water spout on the lake this weekend too by Cedar Point.
You get
Nice.
water
and-
spouts too?
Mhm. It was scary. And like that, you could see like somebody took a video and there was like a roller coaster going, and over here, like literally looked like it was like 100 feet away was this big water spout tornado.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, "What are you doing?"
Come on.
We call that a hurricane party.
Oh man, I
Corey.
don't do water.
We call that time to take out the cell phone and record
Nope.
video.
This is this is
That's what somebody did. apparently.
I'm near the coast, by the way, Taylor. So
Okay.
that's what.
this is-
Yeah. So when you said water spouts, I was like, "What
I don't
in the
this-
Midwest?
Yeah,
Water spouts?"
Yeah, they're water tornadoes, but
yeah, it's scary.
I feel like we
Scary
have
stuff.
boring weather here. It's just blizzards and thunder.
Just blizzard. It's just blizzards. It's just blizzards.
Just a bunch of snow.
Just bury ourselves in the. I'm sorry, Pat. We'll
This
move
is good
this
bonus content.
to
No,
to Rogueport.
I like it. I
This
like
is going at the. This is going at the end. This is going after the credits.
Yeah,
Patreon
this is-
exclusive.
Look, I am
Patreon
just ready for that asteroid. Okay, just ready.
Whoa! What?
There's an asteroid?
What?
Oh no! Just like with just how all these weird
Oh.
climate,
Oh,
natural
crazy weather.
disaster type
No.
Oh.
events.
See,
and you're
we
like,
got the Nova happening first, okay? Let's at least get the Nova out of the way before the
What? Where the sun
asteroids.
explodes and we all just fry instantly?
No, that's a supernova. A nova is where two suns, one's dying, one's kind of not. And the
One's
not so
kinda
dying one absorbs gases from the dying one, and it creates like thermonuclear explosions. But
This
it doesn't
sounds
destroy
all.
the
This
star.
all sounds terrifying. Space is terrifying. Let's talk about Paper Mario. Paper Mario is not terrifying.
you go into space.
Yes, you do.
You do.
Paper space.
Mhm.
Paper
By the way,
space.
can I say something real quick? I finally bought new Joy-Cons.
Beautiful.
About the yellow and the blue ones.
The blue is such a pretty color.
I
It
know. It's amazing. It matches my Splatoon 3 controller that I love the controller and never played Splatoon 3.
I love that. I got the Princess Peach ones recently, so now I have pink ones, and I'm like,
Oh,
I love them so much.
The pastel ones?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Taylor
I'm
is a girl after my heart.
Yeah.
I had to so sorry, I know we need to start
No,
doing this thing.
just-
But so these are my launch ones from day one, and I also bought a blue pair on like day 10. Never had a Joy-Con drift issue once.
That's
They
amazing.
both get Joy-Con drift the same week.
Oh my god! What are the odds?
And I refuse to use my Zelda ones and my white ones. So
You can't ruin those.
So I had to get the new ones. I was trying to last the whole generation without replacing them, but Nintendo's taken way too long. So
Yeah.
all right, let's talk about how Goombarella wants Mario's babies.
There's more thirst than just Goombarella.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Are we all ready here?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.